My name is Deb Lopez, founder of Animal Fairy Charities and co-leader of a national grassroots campaign for animal welfare. I have loved and fostered companion animals all my life, and am now working to help others who are in the trenches every day, rescuing, caring for, and providing for animals in need. And now, Animal Fairy Charities presents Animal Advocate Television, a show designed to help inform, educate, and engage the public on animal welfare issues and provide support and recognition for those who are out there giving of themselves to make things better for our companion animals. So join us as we take you on tours of shelters and rescues right here in Wisconsin. We'll keep you up to date on legislation and laws governing animal welfare and show you ways you can get involved by fostering and adopting. We'll even have a segment for children aimed at teaching them compassion at an early age. So stay tuned and help be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Animal Advocate Television is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, N Scratch Outpost, HAWS, Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. Approximately 3 to 4 million animals will be euthanized in shelters across America this year. Consider this. Some of these animals are lost. Many of them were given up because of behavior issues, no fault of their own. Many times their owners didn't take the time to choose the pet that was right for them. They didn't realize the cost for their care, and some simply didn't understand the breed or temperament of the animal they acquired. Sure, economics had something to do with it. Aging owners that are forced to move into places that don't take pets, and sometimes even the death of their guardians result in many pets ending up in shelters. Imagine what these guys are feeling. But it doesn't have to be this way. 23 million people will get a pet this year. 17 million have not yet decided if they will purchase from a commercial source or adopt. Even if a small percentage of the 17 million people adopt their new pet, we can save every treatable and healthy animal. Join the movement to adopt your new pet. Learn to love a shelter animal.
Hi, I'm Lynn Olenik, the Executive Director here at HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County. We're going to talk today about full admission sheltering and how it may differ from some of the other shelters in the area. Full admission sheltering means that we don't discriminate. We don't turn any animals away that are of domestic species. That includes sometimes wildlife, sometimes it includes a little bit of livestock, such as the donkey that we had recently, but mostly dogs, cats, guinea pigs, rabbits, and we also do take reptiles. Full admission sheltering means we never say no. When something comes to our door, we accept it in. We don't charge for surrenders. We do ask for a donation for their care, but we don't charge. It's important to us that when a family has made that decision to separate from their pets, that we go ahead and take the animal in and do the very best we can with the resources available to make sure that the animals get cared for. In this way, we feel we can make the greatest impact on the animals in our community. We're dedicated to the community of Waukesha, working here to help solve the problems of the animals in our community by working with the people in our community. How you can help work with the animals here is adopt, become a foster home, a foster parent to take in an animal that isn't ready quite for adoption yet, or volunteer. We have a number of programs here that are proactive in ending the overpopulation of cats, such as in Project Guardian. We have a great program, our behavior modification program, so that we can take dogs that aren't ready for the adoption floor yet, in the past that would have been euthanized, and rehab them and get them to be good canine citizens here for the area of Waukesha. What we do with that is, in our behavior program, we have a program called the Mod Squad, and the Mod Squad is dedicated volunteers who take animals that aren't dangerous but have behavior issues. Maybe it's a matter of they don't know how to give up a toy, or they're jumping too much, or they're that young 9-month-old lab that came to us from a family that got a cute puppy but really wasn't prepared for what it was to train and care for a young adult dog that weighs 80 pounds. So with that, we work with them to make them the very best possible adoption candidate that we can. Here at HAWS, we're building a society that's humane, and we need the public's help to do that.
Hi, I'm Carrie Marble from Bark and Scratch Outpost, and I'm here today to talk about why I put supplements in my pet's food every day. When dried pet food is cooked, it is heated at high temperatures. The heat kills most of the enzymes your pet needs to be able to digest and use the vitamins in the food. So I add digestive enzymes to every meal I feed my pets. Omega-3 fatty acids added to your pet's diet every day provides anti-inflammatory effects for the relief of joint problems and arthritis, and can help relieve shedding and itching due to allergy or skin-related conditions. Whole food supplements, unlike chemical vitamins and minerals, supply a number of nutrients your pet's body can easily absorb. Here is a whole food supplement we stock at Bark and Scratch Outpost. The ingredients read bee pollen, nutritional yeast, garlic, flaxseed, alfalfa leaf, chamomile flowers, oat straw, dandelion root, burdock root, milk thistle, rose hips, yellow duck root, licorice root. These ingredients can stimulate the pet's own immune system and can help prevent the release of chemicals such as histamine, which can cause itching. The easiest supplement you can add to your pet's next meal is water. When clean water is added to your pet's food, it helps the body break down and use the nutrients it needs. I use 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 cup of water to every cup of dry food fed. I also add water to my canned and raw diets I feed my pets. You can find out more information about Bark and Scratch Outpost at MilwaukeePetFood.com. Our helpful staff is available 7 days a week. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mound Road, MilwaukeePetFood.com. We think outside the bag.
MilwaukeePetFood.com, Bark and Scratch Outpost.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Jochman. I'm one of the veterinarians at Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals. And today we're just going to talk about a few things that we have been seeing more and more of, and maybe some information that owners would find useful. There's a couple of pretty serious poisons that dogs and cats can get into. And the first one is we're going to talk about something that dogs get into, and it's raisin and grape toxicity. Many people don't know that raisins and grapes can be poisonous to dogs, and it's kind of interesting because not all dogs get the effect, and the poisonous effect is that they go into kidney failure. We call it renal failure, and the toxic dose is very variable, so it's a pretty individualistic problem. Not all dogs, if they eat a raisin or a grape, will get it, but some will go into kidney failure, and some pets even die from it. So it's very important that you keep grapes and raisins away from your pets. For example, grapes, raisins obviously are concentrated grapes, and so the poisonous compound is more toxic, and they don't really know what that is. They're still trying to work out what causes kidney failure with raisins and grapes. But for example, a 20-pound dog eating about an ounce of raisins could put them into kidney failure. And things that you would look for at home would be, obviously, you would have to know that, or have an idea, suspect that your dog got into raisins or grapes, because there's not a specific test we can run to say this is the problem. I mean, we can tell if they're in kidney and renal failure by looking at blood work, but other than that, we don't have a point-on test that we can run. So things people would notice at home would be pretty generalized signs. I mean, lethargy, vomiting, diarrhea. Some pets, when their kidneys are already affected, will drink a lot more water, they'll urinate a lot more. And if you notice any of those signs at all, and you have the history of exposure to grapes and raisins, you definitely would want to go talk to your vet.
Hi, I'm Lori Minetti. We, as a compassionate nation, can no longer look the other way when it comes to our abandoned, abused, or neglected animal companions. It's time for us to step up and be the strength and the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. You can be that voice through your tax-deductible donation to Animal Fairy Charities, an organization dedicated to raising and distributing funds to other nonprofit animal welfare groups. Log on to animalfairycharities.org or call 262-989-0604.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Bark and Scratch Outpost, HAWS Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. And now a word from our sponsors.
Bark and Scratch Outpost.
Got pet nutrition? We do. You are what you eat. The same is true for your pet. We offer a large variety of local and national brands, organic and natural pet foods, essential oils, and cleaners. The benefits of feeding a natural pet food are less shedding, less stool, and less illness. A locally produced natural dog food is 40 pounds, $27.99. Our helpful staff is available 7 days a week. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mound Road, MilwaukeePetFood.com. We think outside the bag.
MilwaukeePetFood.com, Bark and Scratch Outpost.
I felt that there was a great need for not only emergency and critical care, but referral work as surgery, internal medicine, critical care medicine, something that was open 24/7. And I was very excited to come down here, open up a new hospital, and bring this type of care to the Milwaukee area. Also, there's nobody in this area that sees exotic pets. So that was another thing that was going to be one of my passions of providing for the Milwaukee area.
Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, MECA'S.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha is so much more than a shelter. Our adoption staff, animal caregivers, and behavior department ensure the best possible adoptive companion. Our spay-neuter programs actively combat pet overpopulation in our area, and our animal rescue team safely returns lost pets back home. HAWS does one-on-one consultations, holds a variety of training classes and seminars, and even hosts camps for kids. Our shelter is and always has been open admissions and full service, providing resources for pets and their people for a happy lifetime together. HAWS, we're building a society that's humane.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Corner. I'm Greg Zirk, and I'm excited to introduce to you a dear friend of ours here at Animal Advocate Television, Elizabeth James Lipscomb. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be here and to speak out about my love for animals and education about animals.
There's some people that may recognize you from, you were involved in More Magazine's modeling competition. You were the first runner-up. Now that's a big deal.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It was pretty special.
Tell us about that experience.
Well, More Magazine is a magazine that is primarily, its market is women over 35, and they offered a contest for a modeling contract with Wilhelmina Models in New York City. There were approximately about 30,000 people that entered, and they awarded the top 3 women with modeling contracts.
Wow, that's amazing and inspirational at the same time. Now, I know you love animals. You have a cat, dog, horses. Tell us about that.
Oh, they're so special in my life. I can't speak up enough about the bond between humans and animals. I have one dog that was adopted, one cat that was adopted, and I have 3 American saddlebred show horses.
Oh, awesome. Now, were you raised with animals?
I was raised with animals. My mother always had a great compassion for animals, and she taught us and educated us about the responsibility and bond between animals and humans.
I can hear Carly right now.
she's our guard dog.
Yeah.
She has good pipes.
Well, now, you have a cute story about how you found her. Tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. I actually met her in the green room at one of my TV interviews, and I just fell in love with her. She was such a good little puppy, and it was meant to be from the start.
And you were able to take her home right there, or how did that work?
It was through a adoption agency, and they were promoting, you know, to adopt animals, and I couldn't take her right away. First of all, I had to call my husband and my daughter, and and I wanted my daughter, again, this is part of the education, to see her and have her be part of the decision-making process on, you know, welcoming another member to our family.
Well, that's so important, because you said you were raised with animals and now you're passing on the same values to your daughter.
Absolutely. And again, like I mentioned, I think it's really important that they are involved with the decision making, and that encourages responsibility from the very beginning, because they are part of it.
And kind of helps promote the idea of adopting or rescuing, and it starts young, and we really promote that here on Animal Advocate Television.
Yes.
Starting the kids out young. Tell me about your horses now. You said you had 3 different saddlebreds and 3 different stages of life. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I have 3 show horses, and I believe that you are their guardians till the end of their life. And one is currently retired. The other I am leasing and giving an opportunity for other people that may not be able to afford a horse to show. And the third one I am currently showing.
Okay, I think that's real common, like in the horse show world or horse racing, where animals are used and achieve a certain level, accomplish so much, and then may be passed on to the next owner, the next, and the next. And I really admire that you have chosen to, which was, is it John?
John, Champion John D. Smith. He's my retired boy.
Explain the retirement. Is that official, or what?
It is official.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So he was, we had a retirement ceremony at the Wisconsin Alliance Center in Madison, and officially, when you officially retire them in the show ring and they had a ceremony, then he is not allowed to be at any more competition shows.
Look who's
and
here.
Here's Carly. How you doing, babe?
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Tell me your views. How can you help our viewers understand the benefits of adopting or fostering?
I think, first of all, they need to understand the responsibility that comes along with adopting animals, so that they are prepared, because they are the guardians for their life. So they need to realize the opportunity that they're getting involved with. And with that said, I can't speak out enough about the human bond between animals and humans. It's for those that have never experienced it, I can't speak enough about it. Also, when you adopt an animal or a rescue animal, I don't know if people are really aware of how those animals, I swear they know that they've been adopted or rescued. They it's just so neat. They even have an extra bond, because they know that they're special and you're taking care of them. It's like they've been given a second opportunity in life, and that's very rewarding.
Typically they have a little history behind them, maybe abuse or neglect.
Absolutely.
Or something. They seem to sense that.
Yes,
I agree.
yes, and they're so appreciative. And it's something that, again, until you are an owner that does this, you won't understand it, but it's an incredible reward.
Yeah, and education is key. You know, I think there's so many, with the shelters we view, the animals that may come around a second, a third time, that people need to be educated. That it is a huge responsibility.
Right.
Whether you have a pedigree or a mix, adopted, fostering, it's a huge responsibility. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Oh,
absolutely. This has truly been inspirational in many different ways. Congratulations on the More Magazine First Runner-Up competition. And thank you so much for promoting the health of all our animals, from cats, dogs, to horses. You're great. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg, very, very much.
Our loyal companion animals provide us with unconditional love, yet many of them end up abandoned. The lucky ones end up in shelters and rescues with a second chance for a new life. Fortunately, there are people out there willing to give their time, love, and resources to help give back to our animal companions. But the costs for food, shelter, medical, or even transportation to care for these animals can be staggering. Please log on to animalfairycharities.org or call today 262-989-0604 and give something back to those who give so much.
ROCKS Positive Canine Training is a humane canine training facility offering training for all dogs regardless of breed or behavior problems. Trainer Frank Allison specializes in the badly behaved dog, including but not limited to aggressive and antisocial issues. ROCKS Positive Canine Training offers private and group lessons to accommodate your schedule. If you're looking for a trainer for your dog, look to ROCKS Positive Canine Training, 262-662-4160.
Are you looking for that special companion? Stop in at Secondhand Purrs, where we can match up your needs perfectly. We're a cat rescue dedicated to the rehoming of abandoned or unwanted cats. We have a wide variety to choose from: babies, young adults, and seniors. Come in and spend some time selecting your new family member, or visit our website at secondhandpurrs.org. We are continually taking in new cats that need a loving home like yours. Come and visit us today.
At Joe Wilde Company, we've been treating customers like family for over 60 years.
It's the Joe Wilde way.
And while we're proud to be your leading source for garage doors,
Joe Wilde offers so much more.
Right now at Joe Wilde Company, you'll save $150 on breezy screens, the newest way to screen in your garage. For garage doors and so much more.
Joe Wilde Company, I'll go with Joe.
Fetch Magazine is a resource for dogs and their owners, offering everything from dog rescues and promoting adoption to canine health and wellness, dog parks, doggy daycares, rescues, shelters, and so much more. 20,000 copies of the magazine are printed quarterly and distributed to over 300 locations throughout Metro Milwaukee and the surrounding suburbs. Best of all, check out their free online animal event calendar. Make sure to pick up your copy of Fetch Magazine. To learn more, you can log on to fetchmag.com or find Fetch Magazine on Facebook.
Back in the 90s, we had a train wreck in Wyawega where there was a chemical spill. People were locked out of that area, but many of them had pets at home. That brought up a huge issue as far as what do we do when there are animals involved in a disaster. From there, we went to Katrina and saw that a lot of people refused to leave because they weren't going to take their animals with them. The National Red Cross now has on their website a checklist for people to prepare for their animals. In these large-scale disasters, they recommend you take your pets with you. They know that people will go back and put themselves in harm's way to save their animals. Very important that you're prepared. Large-scale disaster, small-scale disaster, a lot of these things are the same. You need to have vet records for your pet, preferably in a container, plastic, so that they are available at a moment's notice and they can't get damaged by the weather. A crate, a carrier, or appropriate caging that you can pick up and go. If you have a macaw in a 6-foot cage, make sure he has a carrier that's an appropriate size that you can put him in. You need to have food for all of your pets. A lot of animals will adjust easily to their canned diet that is similar and made by the same company as their dry diet, and you can store those cans for quite a long time. Drinking water. You need to have drinking water. Litter pans for cats, scoops for cats. Cats that you can easily find and are accustomed to going into a carrier, and that means practice. Carriers for all of your dogs, and ready and able in an area that you can access if you need to leave with your animals. It's very important that you're prepared. Identification is another area that a lot of people slip up on. We all think about our dogs running at large, and most of us have identification on our dogs, collars, phone numbers. Use your cell phone number on your ID tag. Use a neighbor's cell phone number or a relative that's out of town on your pet's ID tag in case it gets loose. Have additional numbers on there. Very few people are sitting home by their home phone waiting for that phone call about their dog, whereas if they had their cell phone number on their ID tag, they could easily get a phone call. If Fluffy even got out while you were at work, you would know that someone had your pet. Having a microchip in your animals, extremely important. Many animals look very similar. It's hard to tell the difference between 4 black labs when they've been running in the mud and which dog is which. You may know, but are people going to know? Especially if they've lost their collar, or their collar's been taken off, or their tags do fall off. Having those microchips ensures that your animal will get sent back to you, but updating your microchip information with the microchip organizations when you change your phone number or change your address is very important, so that you take care to make sure that your animals can get reunited with you. If you leave and have to go to a shelter, your emergency shelters here, at least in Wisconsin, the majority of us have some memorandum of understanding with the Red Cross, and will set up an area for your pets to be cared for, which is near the shelter, which will help make things much easier for you. Pets can be a source of comfort to people, especially if they've lost their home. So do you have a checklist for your pet? Do you know where your pet will go if you break your leg and end up in the hospital? If you have to leave to take care of an ill relative, who's going to let out your dog? Who's going to feed your cat? If you passed away, do you know who would take care of your pets? Do you have a plan?
Hi, I'm Lori Minetti. Your support through a tax-deductible donation makes it possible for Animal Fairy Charities to help save animals in need by supporting the wonderful people who are working day in and day out to provide shelter, food, and care for these animals, largely out of their own pockets. Please help us help them by calling today, 262-989-0604, or visit our website for more information at animalfairycharities.org.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Bark and Scratch Outpost, HAWS, Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. Dear fellow animal advocate, my name is Deb Lopez, founder of Animal Fairy Charities. I am writing you today for support in helping make Animal Advocate Television possible. Your financial support in the way of sponsorship or donation will not only show the community you care, but will give voice to those who cannot speak for themselves. Call me at 262-989-0604 for more information on how you can be that voice. Most sincerely, Deb Lopez, Animal Fairy Charities.